It's 8 o'clock and I don't get paid by the hour, so let's jump into this shit. I got Jason Kaplan, I got ZP, and we're halfway through the party, baby. EU, crown belongs to the Abrahams. But ZP, there's been an earthquake of shakeups in the rosters for NA. Where do we stand coming into episode 15 tonight?
Well, where we stand right now is that once again, Sneaky Golem had people out of town, on vacation, whatever it may be. Sneaky Golem is not playing here this week, so we decided, you know what? Bunny with Clock, we gotta get them back in. They've been the mainstay, the loyal opposition in NA, other than Melee Creeps and Sneaky Golem. And we gotta bring back the Boston Tea Party. That's one part incredibly sick logo, and another part, they've been a team that has been up and on the rise going back to the Trolli NA tournament. And we get to see if their training has paid off in the last few weeks that we haven't seen them play.
For some reason, Lash makes everything better, including Jason Kaplan. I saw in the chat they were calling him, was it Lashy McConaughey? Something like that. I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it, Kaplan. How we feel?
All right.
Yep. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Let's get him off the screen and some of these rosters up and running. Boston Tea Party taking on the Bunny with Clock. Boston, Venus, Wick, Evil Kitty, I Am Mamba, and Dash. Who's good on this screen?
You know, and I look at this team, actually, it's Bennis who's been subbing. Like, I'll hype up Bennis a little bit because Bennis has been one of those players that has been basically in and around the NA comp scene for a while, but never really on a top level team for particularly long. So anytime you see one of those players, I don't know why I got the hiccups. It's just absolutely unreal.
Is that ZP dying?
Look, I'm surviving. But no, it's just anytime you see a player that's been around for a long time, in both the Discord and just your general high level Eterna 6 pubs, look, it's cool to see them on a new organized team. That's a story for me. Sub or not, I'm curious to see what Bennis does today.
ZP, can you tell me the origin story of Boston Tea Party?
The origin story, I mean, I know the historical, where the term comes from in terms of the overall team. I know they're being coached by Pure Content, and I know a lot of these players are E6 players that have been in and around. I think they may have been doing some of the events for Death Slam at one point or another. Why am I hiccuping like this? Please, someone save me my misery. Throw to Kaplan or something.
So CP, what was your favorite color when you were in middle school, and why was
blue?
Oh, I knew it. All right, sorry, we're gonna save ZP.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Kaplan bailed on us, and I just wanted to see how many times I could get you to hiccup on air. So let's just go full screen. Oh no, I just feel.
What has happened here? I did not expect this to be the scenario. Oh, thank God. Buddy with Clock. With Tanner, all in caps. But if Jason is gone, Jason, are you still here on voice? Is the question. Or because we may have to just get Jake back in some form or fashion. But in any case, rather than talking about Bunny with Clock, what I'd say here is that I got to talk about Gibbs.
All right, I can't do it to him. Bring him back Kaplan. All right, we're all here. ZP, we were just trying to find out internally how many hiccups we could count on air. And after a while, I just started to feel bad. So we're going to show the whole screen. We showed Poshy Pop in the past. We've got your little hiccup cam directly above Arctic.
I'm going to try and hold my breath is what I'm going to try and do.
And I want to remind you that as part owner in the company, you can file official HR complaints about Jason Kaplan.
Oh, okay, yeah, you know what? That's fine. I'll throw it at Jason. It didn't come from you. It just came entirely from Jason. That makes sense.
Exactly. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only hiccup master. Is he going to be able to dominate the play-by-play? Does he have a Diet Coke to wash these hiccups down?
I do. I actually do. Just to be entirely clear, I do at this moment, Bucket.
Chat, should he chug it to fix the hiccups? What bad could happen?
Screw it.
What could go wrong here? As we get a little ZP chug off. There's no burps so far. There's no hiccups.
Okay, that's
ladies and gentlemen.
Jake said he'd be here in 5.
I just saved ZP's hiccups. I'm a doctor.
They might be gone.
Come visit
me. They actually might be gone. Holy shit.
For just 5 subs, I could heal your family, ladies and gentlemen. Allegedly, 35% off 5 gifted or more. We got the Lash Bass back in the building, and it's time to jump into this one. Are we doing the little moldy mold fight, or are we just jumping in with a draft today?
No, but we got a NA 1v1. Hopefully, if it's like
no,
oh, is it not?
It's not happening. So I'll be the yellow mole. You be the blue mole. We'll just. Oh, the blue mole wins. All right, let's jump into the draft.
Yeah,
all right.
I agree. You know, everything that ZP was saying, completely agree. Hopefully his hiccups died. Just like Marinette. Even though Marinette was put in today, don't move to Italy, ladies and gentlemen, because it is not fun.
It's not good if you're a broadcaster. Not a good career choice.
No, the thing is, it didn't die at all today until this exact
with, like,
moment.
Cool people and good food, though.
No, people know.
He doesn't say anything good about Italy, for the record. Like he gives nothing good about it.
By the way, he also doesn't speak Italian, so they probably take offense.
Io parlo Italiano.
Let's highlight these guys and what they're about to do here, ZP, because
what did I miss? That's the question.
You missed about 17 hiccups. I got him to chug a Diet Coke, which cured ZP.
It actually did.
I just know what ZP consumes on a regular basis and what his body was missing, and I was like, this needs a little bit more.
What is going on?
I'm all for it. I'm all for the slow fade-ins of a full screen of ZP, because you know what? That's going to cure anything for me. Definitely my depression. Going into this game, though, I don't know. I mean, again, I don't know how much you guys talked about. I missed probably the majority of it.
No, let's start fresh. Let's start from the beginning.
No, we don't start fresh. We don't have to start fresh. I think the draft is almost ready to go. But one thing I want to bring up, big fan of BWC. Like, who out there is not a fan of BWC? Everyone in chat, I see Posh Pop spamming it as well. Big fan.
Well, Bunny with Clock, they're really big on the abbreviation of their team, which is why they're one of the only teams in all of Night Shift that actually runs with their tag. If you look in game, like they're all running with the tag before their name, which most teams don't actually do.
Are you a fan of BWC, Puckett?
I mean, it's hard not to watch BWC dominate.
It's true.
When it's on the screen, you just can't look away because the Bunny with Clock.
You don't see it often, but when you do, you really have to admire it.
It's very rare. Very rare when they appear during my work hours.
Yeah. But Boston Tea Party, ZP, oh my God. ZP's having some more. I think he needs more Diet Coke, maybe to level out his amino acids.
I've just got full grain. I mean, at this point, I got to figure out where I put my Abrams horns. Like they're around somewhere,
For Boston Tea Party, though, I don't.
Oh, yeah. So go ahead.
I can't remember fully the roster they ran with in the Trolli event, as I quickly look to my left and do this while I'm talking and trying to drag on as long as I possibly can before I do run out of things to say while typing in Trolli NA over on Liquipedia. They're running, I want to say, like a majority of the same roster. Boston's there, Evil Kitty's there, Wick is there, Mamba's there. But we do have a couple of new additions in the team, like Venus, like you mentioned before, and Dash as well. I think, I don't know if it's a step up or step down, depending on their previous roster, but I'm curious to see what they can bring to the table, considering it's been quite a long time since we've seen them.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I've noticed that they still have been scrimming actively the entire time. They're still being coached by Pure Content, who of course had pretty long run at the top of competitive and NA. So I'm just curious to see what level of improvement we might get from them here today.
Well, good luck to you in your future endeavors.
And also whoever plays Viper, because if we see Viper or Lash, what we need to do, Solomon. We need to bring back on air.
What?
Fingers crossed. I mean, we'll let chat know. We don't have to tell him.
Solomon's just sitting here hitting this button.
Is that me?
Repeatedly.
Blue ZP again? Yes, it is. Look at this gentleman.
God.
Oh, so handsome.
What other colors do we have at our disposal is a question.
I think we got
can we get like a nice pink hue on them?
Yeah, we got a magenta Zeeps.
Well, NA, they've taken some hints from EU in drafting, and that neither wants to give up the Kelvin or the Shiv. The Shiv priority has gone up dramatically. Now, the question is for NA is that NA was valuing Holiday, I think, a little bit more highly last week than EU was. Is it going to be Holiday first pick or... Oh, God. Okay, now I'm a reddish...
Trolli's coming back, ladies and gentlemen. No, just kidding. Yamato, like you said, being first picked here. I think we've seen a slight transition away. I mean, North America was typically like 1 or 2 weeks behind. I want to say the EU meta, and don't worry. I was gonna say let's just keep it there. Let's just keep it on ZP. It's looking fantastic, and it seems like maybe they're warming up to how strong Yamato can be once again.
All right, so Paradox comes on in, and I guess second question here for NA and where priority was. If it was last week, we'd probably be seeing Holiday, but we also may be seeing Infernus for where things are. I mean, there's a few different options here for second pick, and we'll see which way they go. For me, I mean, the safe pick probably would still be Infernus, but okay, Holiday is where we're at. So NA still going, you know what? No. We have Holiday just a little bit higher prio.
Where's the Vindicta ban though, or the Vindicta pick? Oh my god, he's just, I don't know if he's gone, or if there's just another color we're overlaying on top of him here.
I'm doing that because I'm secretly looking for my Abrams horns, and I'm gonna be looking real weird on camera at the same
You're gonna
time.
look great. You're gonna look great.
We love it when it's a little bit weird here.
Finally in the game. Europe won't play him. NA still uses him. Holiday high priority, top 4. We like to see it. Shiv coming on the sideline. This looks like a fun game to me, yeah?
For BTP, they have to be a little bit worried against BWC. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're not gonna put Bebop here, then you're potentially gonna lose out on any sort of pick that you're gonna have going into the second set of bans and going into the game. So smart pickup by them, but also does, I guess, kind of make them a little bit weaker because there's still a lot of high priority heroes you want to be grabbing at this point. As VP mentioned, Infernus would be a very solid pick to have in here. Also Vindicta for Bunny with Clock. If you're going to pick it, I would say you need to do it now. They're not going to go for it. So Aiden going to be on Mina, it seems.
I'm going to call it NA on something that like they really need to get on top of, because you look at how it's influencing the macro game, how it influences decision making. EU has figured out, yeah, Doorman should be a high priority. You should probably be picking Doorman in the first half of your draft. We are now 3 picks deep on both teams, and I see no Doorman. Doorman should have been in here at this point. Like, you talk about pick priority, you probably pick the Doorman before the Mina right now. I get it. You have some players that probably are very comfortable on Mina, and I mean, Mina is still really good for tempo, but nah, you need Doorman in that spot.
You didn't notice, Bucket. You have to bring it up again. Geist being now taken away. I'm assuming that's over towards maybe Poshupop as well. Like, again, there's like, it's weird to see Aiden not being given the respect of Vindicta being taken away, when even the likes of Sneaky Golem would take away Vindicta from him in particular. And again, I think this is maybe towards, you know, BTP trying to play things they're comfortable with rather than counter banning or counter picking up against BWC.
Abrams keeps coming.
Okay, Bucket.
Is that the picture I sent you like a long time ago? I think it is.
Yeah. It's not recent. So I'll say there. But okay, Abrams comes in.
Good picture.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting where NA is at. I mean, I don't necessarily know if like melee creeps is 100% going to reflect this. Melee creeps for sure is going to have Bebop priority, but what in the world is this? Where, yeah, Infernus is a little bit lower NA last week, but now you're getting Infernus at 4th pick. That is unreal, and Doorman's still available. I mean, the contrast between EU and NA right now is actually pretty severe. They were aligned for a little while, but now we've just gone completely off the rails of what each region is valuing.
You know, I think it most just comes down to comfort. I think you can't just play what's meta, and you can't just play what's strong right now if you don't have people who can't play it. You know, and I think with the, not necessarily the tier of teams, I think that sounds too negative towards these two teams, but like the comfortability that teams have of playing these on meta heroes and playing around them, especially when it comes to like Doorman in particular. I don't think maybe it's there quite just yet. But ZP, Warden, just ain't it for me.
Nah, still not the biggest fan of Warden. I mean, look, what we discovered last week is that if you have DMB playing Warden and John feeds you a 7-course meal in the most decadent way possible, and you have Shiv Kelvin on your team, you can win a game with Warden. But other than that, Warden has not been winning many games as of late. But the Vindicta comes in, so Bunny with Clock able to feed the Vindicta to Aiden at the very end. And okay, today is, I gotta say, this is a weird draft because there's stuff I really like with Bunny with Clock's draft, and then stuff I don't like giving up the Infernus Doorman late to Boston Tea Party. This is a weird one to dissect between both teams, although just having the Warden in general, it's kind of a downside.
Damn, from like top prio ban to last pick Victor coming in last. Your Puckett, help me out here. In COD or Halo, who was the best like sniper rifle player?
Snipe down.
Really? They had Snipe in their names?
Snipe down?
There was a guy named Snipe Down. Eric Rowan is nasty. Still is. Plays Apex.
He named himself Snipe Down?
Yeah, with it.
I mean, I'm assuming I have to put some respect on his name.
I'll send you a montage.
Okay.
It's got Breaking
so for
Benjamin in
me, Aiden's going to be that player on Vindicta. I don't know if you've seen him play Vindicta yet, but it is a thing of beauty. He hits some ridiculous shots, and if it is going to be him, the way he gets fed early on transitions into the game, but he also does it in a way he doesn't need to pull economy from other players on his team because he's getting that economy to himself through his kills because of that max level assassinate. You get extra souls for yourself. So something we've been kind of theorizing of like what it can bring to the table and what you can do with something like that. But I think it's something you should definitely be excited about.
Is there like any easy target? Any easy targets looking at Boston Tea Party? Because I feel like Viscous will just soak up a headshot, right?
Yeah, I think it's
squishy.
I mean, Doorman to an extent. I mean, Doorman, depending on where he's at. I mean, obviously, Doorman always has the ability to escape with doors, depending on where he's at. But, you know, probably a better snipe target than some of the other hits that you have there. The thing that worries me when I look at the Boston Tea Party comp, though, is that generally speaking, you're only gonna get like 2 heroes that have like really high soul allocation, and then the others are more fighting for scraps. You got Yamato, Infernus, Victor all on the same team. One of those 3 is not gonna be eating as well as the others, and that's a little bit rough given the fact that all 3 heroes kind of demand a really high level of farm to be effective. So that's one thing I look at Boston Tea Party's roster, I'm just like, not the biggest fan on face value.
Not yet. I need to know though, chat. Poshy Pop, what is he playing? Put it in the chat right now. You've all been arguing across the YouTubes, across the Twitch.tvs. I need to know, who is he playing? Let's figure it out. Puckett is looking like a dealer you meet behind an abandoned McDonald's. You wouldn't meet me, bro. You'd meet my people. All right, let's go into the game, shall we?
No, we can stay here. We can actually just stay here for a little.
You gotta marinate? I'm down to marinate.
I feel like someone goes up to you, Pocket, like, hey, what you got? And you're like, what you need?
Everything.
And the guy goes, I need like 20 chicken McNuggies. You got those? And you're like, yeah, I got you. What sauce you need?
He's trafficking in McDonald's codes, is what he's done. Oh my God.
I'll have you know, in Italy, the McDonald's, oh my God.
What is going on?
Bad. No, higher in his nose. Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah. Or it's like maybe you're tickling him and he's like laughing, you know? Like coochie coochie coo.
This is...
Okay, what are you fondling right now?
What aren't you fondling? Welcome back, everybody. This is called Deadlock Night Shift. We don't have a sponsor this week, so we're going off the rails. Also, I've been trying to get rid of this freaking pick ban that takes 19 minutes. Seriously, we did the changeover from Europe, what, 47 minutes ago? And this game 1 from North America is still not ready. Guys, we need to do better. I work on a lot of esports. Deadlock, you guys have been doing pretty great. I blame ZP for tonight. And it was the hiccups.
Whoa.
Oh, what about the guy whose internet can't stay up for more than 5 minutes at a time?
How about that? Defending you. Why are you throwing me some strings here?
No. I'm full offense here, you know?
Yeah.
I'm defending you, man.
Who else are we blaming?
Wait, anonymous gifter gifted a tier 3 sub to ZP I Love Nutella.
Oh, thank you.
Then yes.
I'm not a big fan of Nutella. Unless they're our sponsor next week, then I love Nutella.
The bunny with the clock. Ladies and gentlemen, on your mic, it's ZP and Jason Kaplan. Pretty fly for a white guy.
Jason, we got problems. The tier 3 went to ZP underscore, but my full name is ZP underscore TV.
No, it wasn't for you. They weren't you already subbed. They can't be gifted a sub when you're already subbed. They were gifting a sub to ZP I Love Nutella because I think they wanted to tell you something, that this anonymous gifter loves Nutella.
Oh, okay. I now see what's going on there, man. I don't even know. We're in game. That's the important stuff here, Jason. And you're looking at lanes, and oh dear God, taking a look here. Is that a Holiday Paradox lane? That seems miserable to play against, even for Doorman Yamato.
I mean, sounds delicious if you're the one playing it, to be honest. A lot of early poke. I mean, Doorman Yamato, like that's gonna be like okay. I'd say like decent against it, especially if you go for the barrier early on to allow you to fight and trade damage in the beginning. Over on the right hand, go ahead.
No, it's within the skill range there. Like you can either side could win, but oh, the Yamato's getting chunked at the beginning. But you're right. We got other lanes to go to, and what are you seeing on the right or the left?
The Aiden Vindicta paired, excuse me, with the Gibbs Warden. There's a lot of lockdown potential there. If you hit a tether into a binding word, like you're going to hold someone down. I think the downside for them is they're up against probably one of the most decent counters to that with the Viscous and a Bebop. So like the Viscous can just cube himself or the Bebop to protect him, making it very difficult to turn those early CCs into kills. I think that's really interesting lane to watch and how it could progress from here. Because I think if you're bunny with clock, I mean, you already have a very strong mid lane. If you can get going on the right lane as well, you have a very strong right lane. I think maybe your weakest lane could potentially be on this left-hand side with the Mina and the Abrams. But who knows how it's going to go.
Also, now that I look at it here and think about it, I think part of the reason why Viscous got picked so early for Boston Tea Party was partially a deny pick on the Gibbs. Like, it's no secret that Gibbs' main hero is Viscous, and they got that way. But also, Aiden able to get the first kill. And was it a combo? Maybe, maybe not. But the Warden Vindicta lane already paying off for Bunny with Clock on the right-hand side.
Yeah, man, especially because we know Aiden's going to be maxed into Assassinate. So if he can even just maybe store, if he feels like that confident storing the points whenever he can max it out would be kind of crazy in a very ballsy move. But the potential for a snowball can be ridiculous if you're able to pull something like that off. I think for Boston Tea Party here, one thing I worry about is like Victor these days. Whenever we see a Victor have a relatively good opportunity in carrying games, it gets fairly deep in and you have to get to like a fairly high soul amount. I think you're gonna be up against a lot of CC. Oh my god. And now Skifter gets a tier 3 sub to ZP Blazed.
Okay,
I think again, they misspelled your name. It's ZP_TV, so maybe one more try. Thank you for the tier 3 sub there. But yeah, I think Victor takes a lot of time to get to that farmed level and a lot of farm to be able to do that. And I don't know if the game would last this long if Aiden's able to put on a domination on this right lane, not to mention Pashi popping cool cheese in mid.
Well, it kind of gets to what I was talking about in the draft phase, though, is that you also, if you're getting farmed the Victor, who are you starving between your Infernus and Yamato? Like, either way, it's not ideal for where you're at. On the other hand, Bunny with Clock is running Warden, and Warden basically has to pay, needs 30% more farm than the norm tax to be relevant in the game. Also, though, you're talking about lanes here. The Mina Abrams lane is deceptively hard to play against because on one hand, you have Mina that you don't want to keep line of sight against at all, or you're just going to just get chunked down by love bites. But while you're avoiding Mina and focusing on not having LOS to Mina, the Abrams player actually has a lot of room to be sneaky, set up charges, and it's a deceptively difficult lane to actually play against.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, as we kind of talk about looking at EU, right? Fearless Furies, they would dominate pretty much any team out there except Buff Enjoyers and Abrahams. I think there can still be a level of skill discrepancy in lanes that maybe you're a combo that shouldn't be winning the lane, but you can just based off outright skill. And I think that's one of the things that really punishes teams when you get to maybe like the tier 2, tier 3 teams that like a team can just single-handedly win based off the laning phase, and you don't really get to practice the macro. There's a lot of individual skill that has to go into it, knowing your matchups and being able to hold even in your lane, even if it's a lane that doesn't really favor you too much, or likewise be able to dominate a lane when you know you should be winning. But speaking of winning at the moment, Bunny with Clock up 3k souls 5 minutes in, a pretty decent start.
Yeah, not too bad at all, though. The interesting thing for Bunny with Clock is that the lane that you'd think would be running away with things so far has been struggling the most. I mean, again, Yamato Doorman, it's good enough to be able to play evenly, and Pashi Pop in some real danger. Even Power Slash to the face, a little bit of Yamato right clicks on the side, and this Guardian may not be long, although I do think this is a lane that can swap or swap around, no pun intended, when you have ults online. Lasso attempt is already thrown out by Pashi, but the Paradox swap in reserve for Cool Cheese.
I mean, if we've talked about how strong this lane could be with Holiday Paradox, they're the one that's been on the back foot for the majority of the time with that Garn. You can see Dash, it's like he will go down. I didn't actually see what caught him there. Swap. I don't know if there was a swap that pulled him back in, and he's gonna fall from this.
Cool Cheese landed the swap, so either way, Boston falling in the other lane. Kind of back and forth on all sides. Mina, though, getting down and dirty here. Off onto the left-hand side. Furnace and Victor, definitely more of a survive lane against the Mina Abrams, just because you can't really go too far out, and there's a million and one ways that you can get punished here.
And we've already seen Mamba being punished initially with the rate coming through out of Tanner. Imp Spirit, what's going to be buying up now? Going for the Spirit Shielding? Okay, so, I mean, I don't know if we showed it at the top of the show, but I know we had a graphic that had our top most purchased items from the last shift, and Spirit Shielding was number 1 at 44. I don't remember what number 2 was, but I think it was like in maybe mid to low 30s. But definitely one of the strongest items we've seen at the moment, and maybe we'll indirectly get it nerfed like we did previously with Healing Nova like months ago.
Well, Healing Nova, if we had that graphic then, Healing Nova would have been 11 or 12, but last little bit of damage coming into the Guardian here. Okay, Abrams under pressure, but doesn't really seem to care. And all the while, by the way, Mina could have been getting more damage on the heroes. Was like, no, it's fine. I got Guardian. Actually, nothing to worry about. And still gets a shocking reanimation here out of Mamba.
Well, yeah, I think he's going to take down him here. And actually might get punished for this one. The taking's going to be coming through with the afterburn. Here comes Abramson from the side, who gets parried up and gets meleeed, and Venus gets both Arctic and Tanner to fall. Great turnaround here for Boston Tea Party.
Yo, Bennis with the parry at the end turns what should have been a kill into a 2 for 0.
Oh, he did it? He maxes. I'm sorry to interrupt you. He maxes Assassinate ASAP.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you feel like you can be that effective with the Vindicta early on, the snowball potential is unreal. Look at all the unsecured souls here. Might about to be added to that bag. Assassinate, ready to go. Shadow Transformation, not gonna be enough to save here in all likelihood. Back over, charge hit, doesn't get the bonus souls. Gets the kill, but it wasn't via the Assassinate, so, you know, not the most comfort to Yamato, but hey, you know, every bit helps.
Hiding in the bushes, tipping $200 to the prize pool.
Crazy.
I had to do that because Puckett didn't notice it. I think he's eating some more fried rice. But yeah, thank you so much for the donation. Remember, any donations go directly into the prize pool here. It does not go into our pockets, only into the prize pool for all the teams who are playing today. And as we were saying before, with the soul, look at Aiden. He's almost at 10,000 souls right now, 8.5 minutes in. That is ridiculous, ZP. And again, that's what we talked about before, about he's creating his own economy and how much he can snowball a game on a Vindicta is just ridiculous.
You know, if the game ever hits a state where, or not even the game, but like if Vindicta herself ever hits a state where she gets better gun damage than she does now, like she used to have last year, like I'm really interested to see like how much Vindicta can snowball, because I think what's kept this build in check for most of the game is that, you know, gun damage hasn't been the greatest as of late, and you know that's what you'd kind of want to go to just take over a game, and instead you've had the more support Vindictas, but. You know, man, be interested to see if that changes at some point. But okay, debuff. Under a bit of pressure here. In on the swap. Should be easy fall through. Arctic able to finish it off. And Bunny with Clock taking advantage after advantage here, Jason. Now 5K lead, maybe more soon enough.
Yeah, it might be going more soon enough for sure. More kills coming through. Aiden now transitioning towards the mid lane. They did lose their Guardian there already. They haven't been able to trade out in the left and the right lane, however. Now Catch maybe coming in here up against Gibbs. Ooh, should we get the binding ward again? The tether coming through, force out the Shadow Transformation. You can see Aiden on the high ground here looking for some damage. He should, I think, not be able to finish off this Yamato. A little bit too healthy at the moment, especially with the Spirit Shielding coming through. But you can kind of see the respect being given.
Respect has to be there. Not so much for the Holiday, who just got punched off and flamed out by Bennis, but I will say it's a rough feeling for Yamato where you're at 7K, the Vindicta's at 10K, and you go, okay, I'm going to Flying Strike onto the Vindicta. Wait, nothing's happening. I'm just dying. Because normally it's Yamato running down the Vindicta, but you can't actually do that when you have this level of soul difference. But Bunny with Clock with a 5K lead, gonna try and extend that lead with earn control while pressuring mid at the same time. Aiden looking for more, not able to get the kill off the Assassinate though. So again, some of the bonus souls being elusive.
I mean, that's 1700 bonus souls he could have right now. He could be at like 13K this early in. He was able to hit those before. I mean, he's still doing God's work at the moment, so I'm not going to criticize him too much. But insane to see. I mean, we don't really have this kind of Vindicta player over in EU. It's strictly just an NA thing and strictly just an Aiden thing as well. And he's just been roaming around the map looking for kills, applying pressure where they need to get themselves the first flex slot unlocked with that last Guardian going down. and they still have their left Guardian up, but they need to reinforce it very quickly. We're going to see Boston Tea Party get their own flex stop themselves.
Also, this is gonna be my mini rant. I dislike the early kinetic dash builds when you go for it, because especially on Warden where stamina's not premium. Like, yeah, the extra gun damage is nice, but if you go into a fight with kinetic dash and anything goes wrong, you're basically entering the fight -2 stamina, and the odds you get punished are insanely high. But right now, pretty good damage on the Visca is going to force out the ball. Shouldn't be able to chase it down beyond that, but just getting the cooldown out is good, especially when you're ready to apply a little bit of extra pressure to the Walker, as Bunny with Clock fully set up here for the siege.
Oh, why did you dash into him? Especially with the body word coming through to get an early kill, maybe looking for the Walker. They also defend the left lane Guardian while all this is happening. Evil Kitty is going to be a dead Kitty. 9 lives all throughout the window. And this Walker is going to be falling here momentarily as well. Bunny with Clock getting themselves 4 kills around the map, applying pressure left and right. And maybe Dash can do something about this coming in from the right-hand side, but I realistically don't think he can kill anyone here.
Well, also, Aiden is, I think, 10-0 right now. I don't think Aiden has died once. And okay, Gibbs may be in a little bit of trouble. And okay, no, Yamato doesn't go in on it. There's a world where I don't even know. I was thinking, could you Shadow Transform and get another Flying Strike there? I think it was actually on the edge and just had to sit there and watch board and waddle away. He doesn't have a
10-0.
Jason.
K-Dash. Rapid recharge picked up. 5.4k to spend, going boundless on top of this. Oh my god. I mean, he's maxed Crows and maxed Assassinate. That's it. And 1 point in to Flight and to Tether. I mean, knows exactly what wants to do. And I don't think we've seen a lead like this before. 17k in 13 minutes. It's just outstanding. It's insane. And if you're a Buddy with Clock here, I think you just want to force fights. You can allow Warden, you can allow Gibbs to keep farming solo lanes, you can allow Tanner to keep farming solo lanes. You create opportunities for Aiden to pick up more kills because he has more than enough damage to take anyone out.
Yeah, at this point for Boston Tea Party, you're hoping well, effectively, you want to play for comeback earn and avoid major fights here on out, and maybe if you could set up a pick via Boston the Bebop, like some of your best comeback potential is going to come from Bebop centric gameplay at this point. And beyond that, okay, well, you have to avoid swaps. Swaps come in, and we'll see what the follow through is going to be here. It is on the Victor, who doesn't have shocking reanimation up, but also not a big chase down into the underground either.
Yeah, it's a good point about like playing around the Bebop. I think it's about minimizing the amount of souls you lose here, and more importantly, like the deaths, because you're going to lose a lot around the map for any of the deaths that come through. Aiden gets another kill. I'm assuming that was with the Assassinate coming through, because now he's at 19,000 souls as the fight continues to happen here. It's only, what, 2-3 players at a Bunny with Clock here up against 4 players from Boston Tea Party, and yet Bunny with Clock really not struggling too much, forcing back Dash. He's on about 700 HP, forces back Evil Kitty as well, and they have to retreat away from this fight with no Walker to back away to. And even Poshy Pop's like, you know what? I feel confident. Oh my god, Aiden hits the shot!
Yeah, Aiden would be real good at certain political assassinations from what we've seen here. Like, that's just like, how do you know, man? Like, I mean, it is vindictive. Vindictive thing, it's just, ugh.
He did that in the Trolli event, remember? He was able to snipe a page who was going back to base through like the narrowest slit.
The ridiculous thing that I'm looking at here too is that it's 14 minutes into the game and 20, or well, about to be 15, but 21,000 souls at this point into the game is just, it's unbelievable. It is actually completely ridiculous to be at the soul count at this point in the game. We're also, by the way, most of the soul gap between both teams is largely in Aiden right now. Oh my god.
He's got a fifth of the souls on his team, and there's 6 players on his team. That's kind of crazy.
That's
really showing no signs of stopping. What's up, Puckett? What's engorged?
I think he's saying Vindicta is engorged. With souls. With energy of the damned.
I mean, we saw the feed earlier, and that's all I needed to see to see how engorged things can be.
Chat is doing a great job over on youtube.com. Thank you for being here over on twitch.tv as well. We are in the second half of the show with North America's Challenger matchup. Winner of this plays for $1,000+ We're already over 2,500. Here's a team fight. Go.
No, you got
Into
the
team fight
bucket.
we go, and maybe fight may be too strong of a word here. It's more of a team foregone conclusion. The urn is turned in by Bunny with Clock, and things have just snowballed wildly out of control. I mean, you have server admin Vindicta rolling around. You have starving Yamato. Like, Yamato is panhandling in the street saying, please help right now. And it's something we kind of expected going in, where the War of the Farm has gone now to the Infernus and the Victors. So, you know, at 11K, Yamato, you know, what's the opposite of server admin, Jason? Off the top of your head.
Server peon? I don't know. I don't know of a good word for it. It might just be Boston Tea Party at this rate. You see the charging out of Arctic. It's initial catch on Evil Kitty, just trying to buy some time now for his teammates to come on through as they've taken the Walker down. And the Viscous will fall. Oh my, even the damage out of Arctic here is something you have to respect. Wick at 14,000 souls compared to the 18. And they're just continuing to snowball through them. I mean, Wick and Dash are just nowhere to be seen right now, farming jungle while they're losing their own base.
You know, there comes a point where, like, screw it, I need some souls. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, again, especially in Dash's case, realistically, you're not going to have much of an impact in fights now. You kind of have to hope something breaks your way. But even now, like, you go to the idea of, okay, win condition. Boston lands a good hook. You land a hook onto half of Bunny with Clock, nothing good happens. Like, normally you go, okay, hook the Vindicta, she's dead. I feel like Aiden can take half the team point blank at 24K right now. And that's the problem you have when the gap between teams gets this large.
And I don't think you really even hit a hook on Aiden either. I mean, he's got Majestic Leap on a Vindicta. That's something you don't really see too often. I think it's going to be more of a snowball item for him again, given the extra flight, the extra ability to play from the high ground. Not to mention, look for snipes, as we do see mid-boss being tackled. Maybe Dash can come in and potentially steal it away, but they immediately head off it, knowing there's some prey to be caught. Though they're not able to catch on to anyone just yet.
Let's go mid.
Well, it just seems like ZP that it's just a matter of time at this rate. I mean, if you're Boston Tea Party, thinking about a way back into this game seems too difficult right now. I mean, you need to probably pick up the next urn in 2 minutes time, but you're most likely to be losing the mid boss here if we see Bunny with Clock go for it, and then you're going to be losing a lot of your base.
Lasso forces out the shout. Oh god, like, Yamato didn't have HP there. Also, the assassinate might have hit Yamato when she was over 50% HP, and it doesn't matter because the amount of spirit that Aiden has now just pumped into assassinate. Like, when was the last time we've seen a Yamato just be shredded like paper like that?
My Yamato, when I play in my Initiate 1 rank, gets shredded worse than paper, because that's me. Mid boss finally gonna go down, and even Pop feeling confident enough to just sit here and take on 5 players from Boston Tea Party, but they all come through the door. They had it set up perfectly. They get the card away as well, and they can potentially go for the steals, as they do get themselves 2 of them, so a decent chance to get back into this game, but they still have to go for the fight after this.
Okay, they do get 2 of them, but I'm gonna fight you on the decent chance to get back into this game. You can get the rejuve. Look, they could have gotten like 5 rejuve charges there, Jason, and it still would have been the same shooting gallery from Aiden. Like, there was, you know.
I'm a believer, CP. Let me believe.
No,
even though my beliefs aren't that strong right now.
There's no belief. There's just pain that was going on there. Where, what I will say, the execution from Wick, really good. You run that play as doorman in a game that's close, and absolutely hell yes, you are back into the game. You're not back into this game, though, because this game is over. Bunny with Clock, fueled by an outrageous amount of Vindicta play, is going to get their matchup once more against melee creeps.
Well, it might be the end of the game here for Wick, ZP, but it's not the end of the show for Wick from what I'm hearing. I believe he's going to be on the graveyard shift, which kicks off after the next series finishes off in that best of 3. And we'll get to hear from Wick. You know, we haven't had him on the show before, and it'll be good to have a little chat.
That's right. And I mean, I'm really looking forward to that too later tonight, just because, again, hearing perspective from those who are grinding up is good. And who knows, Wick could be one of those players like, yeah, we were there on the ground floor, but Puckett, you were here watching this, and it wasn't super close.
Nah, kind of what I was expecting when I saw Pop's team name. Let's take a look here at the highlights one more time. Vindicta was flying. The shots still pretty pure. When you have that big of a lead, it kind of gets boring though. What was your favorite highlight, ZP?
Honestly, probably towards the end of the game where we just got done watching EU, and ABL was raid boss Yamato for most of it. Very hard, very tanky to kill. And then we roll in here and we see the other end of the spectrum where you've been starved as Yamato because your team went Victor Infernus. You've forgotten what wealth is like, and you die. You lose 70% of your HP in one assassinate. Very different point of view.
I think Aiden was definitely the highlight for me. Glad that we got a ton of the highlights here from that game. Cap, when you said this was like the snipe down of Deadlock, I see it now.
Yeah, I think Aiden needs to rename to Aiden the Sniper, you know, just really kind of reinforce what he does. I think it's even from the get-go, he stored up points to max assassinate. I mean, if we do see people max assassinate, I don't think we typically see them do that anymore, but that's kind of the confidence he brings to this hero. Not to mention some lovely feet, but I mean, like, he got so far ahead in this game. You can see at this point, you know, 11, 12 minutes in, he's already at 14k, so he's earning over 1,000 souls per minute. And he could have been even farther if he was able to lock down even more. Those like 2 kills we saw missed with the assassinate. Don't tell me. Oh my god, he got so many of these shots. Like, look where it was on the mini map too. Like, some of these shots are just ridiculous to hit, and he's able to pull them off time and time again.
One of the cool things about the skill curve in Deadlock is that not every hero, but many heroes have this hidden extra layer of mastery to them. And for Vindicta, it's knowing angles, particularly for zip lines, where you can take angles that have like a split-second view of someone on the zip. And if you know someone's on the zip, you can find them and take them out from across the map. But you just have to be familiar with the angles, and you only get that from just obscene amounts of playtime on Vindicta. And as you look at the stats, clearly, Aiden is packing that and more.
Somebody in chat just said BWC finished first. No, they have not finished first yet. They still have to win a best of 3. Our grand final is around the corner. We got to know who is the MVP. I think the numbers that are highlighted would support Aiden the Destroyer, aka Aiden the Sniper.
I don't want to see it yet, though.
Just what do you want to see?
I want to bring up one more thing. So you know, like Puckett, we have like a breakdown of souls under the players, right? And you don't normally see this one, but for Aiden, he has 23% of his souls coming from Assassinate, which is his ultimate. That's around 6,400 souls he got from this game just killing people with his ultimate, which means a full tier 4 item in a 20-minute game. And then he got another 21% from enemy kills. So he got like 44% of his souls, so like half of his souls just from killing people. You don't ever see that happen when it comes to Deadlock, and Aiden is able to make that happen, which is like really crazy saw
Can he do it on anything other than the Vindicta though? Because we've seen his Vindicta get banned out in the past.
Not to this extent. I mean, Aiden is actually reasonably good on other heroes, but it's something similar to old school Ido, where Ido went through the phase where it's like you got Ido on Pocket, then you got Ido and everything else, and Ido had a pretty good Yamato back in that period of time. But it was nothing compared to the Pocket. And I think it's kind of the same deal with Aiden, where like Aiden's level of play is just next level on Vindicta. And of course, after seeing a performance like that, you gotta give him MVP at the very end of it. Where, by the way, other ways of breaking down the 15 kills here, that was 3 times the amount of kills of all of Boston Tea Party combined, and it was over half the kills for Bunny with Clock, who had 29 kills total.
And triple the kills Buff Major's had against Abrahams in game 1.
And you get to look at a bunch of them here in our highlights. It's Aiden the Destroyer popping off as North America is up and roaring. BWC living up to the hype, but didn't expect this player to be the hard carry. Does Aiden keep it up moving forward? What are your expectations, ZP?
Well, in part for Melee Creeps, Melee Creeps, generally speaking, is going to do a lot better job in the laning phase. So it's even if Aiden does get to play Vindicta, which may get banned, the odds of the snowball are a little bit less, because to have this happen, you need to win lane, and then you have to get assassinate kills on top of it. And that can be difficult if you have, say, John's Bebop on the other side, and they're going out of their way to be like, yeah, let's actually put John's Bebop versus the Vindicta in the beginning. Like, overall, Melee Creeps has more threats to kind of stop an early game from getting out of hand like this. Or again, you could just take down the Vindicta and not play this game at all.
Big thank you to all of our new subs. We got Paz coming in with a brand new primer. Of course, thank you to Overwatch Karn and so many more. Friends, we are up and running over on twitch.tv with 50 to go to 1,100 subs. And of course, over on YouTube, During that game, we hit over 1,400 concurrents. Thank you all for tuning in from around the world as the Europeans fall asleep. Jason Kaplan, tell them why they need to stick around for the next matchup.
You're looking at the best North American team, hands down, out of Melee Creeps, showing it time and time again. And I think, well, hopefully for them, a challenge with BWC, because they have struggled these last weeks to make it into the finals, to make it into the money match. They lost to Sneaky Golem last week, but here's an opportunity to do so. And it's basically Poshy Pop and Cool Cheese up against their previous team of Melee Creeps.
I'm also going to yell at the teams to start their draft now so the game is ready when we come back from the break. Shout out to everyone tuning in. We got Bunny with Glock moving on to the grand finals, 1,000 plus on the line. It's your NA grand finals up next.